So the next question is compliance related. Um, First one, and these are all a little bit different, so we'll spend a little bit of time here. Never been audited and use Oracle Hospitality Suites Cloud. Does Opera Cloud get audited? Again, much like Java, it's a cautionary tale. I haven't seen a direct audit letter from Oracle saying that we're going to audit your cloud usage. Although we have seen Oracle audit their old on-demand environment, as customers have some things on-prem and some things they were using Oracle on demand, and we've seen Oracle definitely audit that type of environment. But things like Opera Hospitality Suites, I have not seen a direct audit from that. However, again, two things. Your contracts with Oracle, one of the things that Oracle snuck into their cloud services agreement is the ability to use all of your data for audit purposes. So if you think about that, when you're on-prem and not in Oracle's cloud, or let's just say when you're not in Oracle's cloud, if Oracle wants to audit you, they need to send you an audit letter. They need to meet with you. They need to set up a schedule. They need to send you scripts. You need to run those scripts, and you need to send all of that stuff back to Oracle so that they can process it. Well, all of that, pretty much all of that goes away once you're in Oracle's cloud. You've probably agreed in your CSA with Oracle Cloud Services Agreement that, and it's in their standard language, that Oracle can use your data, and the words they use are for license management purposes. And what license management purposes is sort of speak for audits. So their audit group is license management services. So they can use all that data for audits. So it would not surprise me if there was a team of people at Oracle looking at what's been installed in Oracle Cloud and comparing that to license entitlements. In this case, it's all cloud, so the audit would be more around usage. If you have so many transactions or so many hours or so many people, and you have more than that logging onto the system or more data flowing or running more transactions, and the order forms that you sign with Oracle, they have overage provisions. Right? If you go over a certain amount of X, then Oracle can charge you. So I don't really think it's an audit like that, but I'll give you sort of an example. You all dialed into Zoom conference here. We use Zoom obviously to host our webinars and our internal conferences, and as part of that, we get so much storage with our subscription. And I remember a little while back, I got an email from someone at Zoom that just said, "Hey, we noticed that you've gone over your storage capacity agreement with us. So you have two choices, Craig. You can either take some stuff off of Zoom storage or you can buy more storage." So they were very nice about it. Um, we chose to take some stuff down that we didn't need to get back into compliance there. My guess here is Oracle, if you go over whatever line you are with Oracle, you're probably just going to get a bill and not get the option to reduce. So it's something that you want to manage pretty closely with any cloud with Oracle. Okay, next question. How to deal with one-time accidental usage of options, for example, advanced compression. The basic philosophy, a few things here is, listen, if you're using something, you should pay for it. It's Oracle's IP. You agree to it. You should pay for it. But when I say using something, I mean, are you using it intentionally or are you getting value from it? Those are sort of two components of the use question. And I think these are questions that Oracle would ask when they were auditing you. So if you accidentally turn something on, and it is very easy to accidentally do that because when you install the Oracle software, everything is turned on automatically. The other thing that can happen is you can use a feature of an option like advanced compression without actually turning on the option itself because it's already turned on. So as you move information from one server to another, and I'm going to be sort of very civilian-like in my description here, but if you're a DBA moving things over, you might get prompted by the system, say, hey, listen, do you want to move this information over faster? And you click yes. Well, guess what? You just compress the data so it can move from here to there faster. And that was a feature of advanced compression. So there's no warning that you actually turned on that feature and it's an extra cost feature and you're not licensed for it. So what we look for is Have you been using it for a while? Are you getting value from it? Again, very similar things that Oracle would look for. Um, Now, if you did, and here's one of the big risks, let's say you did use advanced compression or some other option 3 years ago. It's a one-time use. If you get audited by Oracle and they see that something was used 3 years ago, what Oracle will try to do is say, you turned on advanced compression 3 years ago. Not only do you owe me for the license, but you owe me for 3 years of support. So then it's up to you to sort of explain why you don't. So what we advise our clients to do is sort of depending on the specifics of your situation. If you did turn something on accidentally and you used it once, you just need to have your story straight with Oracle. So here's what happened. It's very similar to a tax audit. If the IRS were auditing you, you would give them all this information and then you would explain it, right? So you would want to have when I say have your story straight, have your explanation. Oracle, this was turned on automatically. Uh, Someone did this thing. It was used once, as you can see. We've never used it again. We never got value from it. It's not a licensable event. So that is sort of the cleanest way to have that conversation with Oracle. But again, you have to get your story straight. Don't wait for Oracle to find you out of compliance and then figure it out. You should know if you're in compliance. You should know if you've had these things turned on by accident. There's also when you buy or license Oracle software, you do get a 30-day trial for some of this stuff. So a one-time usage could be covered by that. And then finally, we've had customers who want to sort of wipe the slate clean. And look, we used it once, there's no value, or yes, we used it over there on that server, but then we copied that database onto another server, and now it looks like we used it over here, but we really didn't. Right, so that's another one, especially when you're migrating databases and things like that. Things show up and they appear that they were in use, but they actually never were in use, and you have to sort of go through the history of that database. Another option that folks have, and it's a labor-intensive option, is to just reinstall the database, sort of wipe the slate clean, and then go from there. But again, you don't want to do that option if you've been using it and getting value from it, and you should pay for it, right? We don't want to deny Oracle their IP and the money that you owe them. But that's not the only option, is giving Oracle money. There's lots of ways to deal with accidental usage, and I just gave you a couple of them. Next question is, how do we assess our likelihood of audit under $5 million firm? Really interesting question. Typically, Oracle doesn't necessarily audit by dollar or revenue. There are criteria. So are you a fast growing company and you've not been buying from Oracle, right? So your revenue goes up, but your Oracle purchases stay flat. Have you told Oracle that you're moving away from Oracle? That's another sort of flag. Have you not made a purchase in 3 years? That's another flag. Do you have a new account team? Have you broken off communication with them, or are they trying to get into your account and you're saying no, right? So all those flags together, I believe, are what trigger audits for customers. And the biggest trigger for an audit is, does Oracle think there's money, right? Oracle audits are not accidents. Oracle audits when they can get money fast from a client. If they think you're in compliance, there is no reason to audit you. I don't care if you're a $2 million firm or a $20 million firm, or a $20 billion firm. If Oracle thinks they can get money, if I'm an Oracle sales rep and you're an under $5 million firm and you're in my account and you won't talk to me and I think you're out of compliance, I'm probably going to audit you, right? I just sort of put my Oracle hat back on to see, what's the likelihood here. Having said all that, I do know that Oracle has moved a lot of their audit functionality, all their people, to Romania. So it's all in Eastern Europe now. And I believe that those folks are targeting smaller clients because they're easier to audit. You think about a $20 billion firm, you might have a software asset management tool, you might have a team of people who track this, you might hire consulting firms like Palisade to get in there and help you make sure you're on the right course. But if you're a smaller firm, you probably don't have any of those protections in place, and you're probably suffering from things like accidental usage and unknown usage of products and things like that. So I would be careful if you were a small firm. Don't think small size means small risk. We had one firm, the very first client I had for audits back in 2011 or 2012, um, they spent $35,000 a year on Oracle maintenance, and they got audited by Oracle and got hit with a $1 million non-compliance finding. So um, be careful. The next question is, what percentage of the initial claim? So I guess this is, Oracle said I was out of compliance by $10 million. What can I expect to pay Oracle? That's my assumption for this question. And that's, again, it's a really difficult question to answer. I will give you the analogy someone once gave me. They said that is the average of a chicken. And what that means is, if you have 2 chickens and I have no chickens, the average number of chickens we have is 1, but the reality is totally different. You have all of them and I have none of them. So we have helped clients with huge non-compliance in the tens of millions of dollars, bring them down to 0. That's the reality of it. Oracle audits, the final report from Oracle, are usually filled with mistakes or assumptions that are easily, you can push back on. Maybe not so easily. But, or we've seen other clients where Oracle comes in and finds, $5 million compliance. And yeah, the customer really was using all that stuff. And we sort of got through all the issues and they still had to pay Oracle a couple $1 million. I guess the key here is um, don't just accept the finding. I love, if you can get 80% off, great. If you can get 90% off, great. We always start at 0. We start defending a client, even when the final report is there. We start with, we assume you're in compliance. Now Oracle has to prove that you're out of compliance. And then final question here is, when are the audits likely to take place? And there's 2 answers to that. One is when it's most painful for you. And what I mean by that is you're doing an upgrade and Oracle knows you've got 2 data centers running. That's a great time for them to audit you because they think you should license all of that stuff. You're moving to the cloud. You've got your on-prem implementation and you've got a cloud implementation. That's a great time to find you out of compliance. You've just done a merger or acquisition. That's a good time. Um, and then Oracle does these campaigns. So you have to look back from their fiscal year end. So their year end is May 31st. Go back 6 months from May 31st, and I'm sure a lot of audit letters went out just to get clients, bring in revenue for Oracle's fiscal year. I would suspect another batch goes out at the beginning of their fiscal year, June and July, where they are figure out accounts and doing their targeting, right? So send out the audit letters in June and July to get revenue in for that next fiscal year.